Hey guys, welcome back to the Video and the Juice Reacts channel, and welcome back to their top 10 moments from High School Musical, the series. So far, we've done top 10 moments, and we've done top 10 scary, spooky moments from the Halloween episode in Season 4, and we've done, most recently, top 10 Thanksgiving moments from the Season 1 Thanksgiving episode. So, now we're going to be taking on one of the most popular episodes of the entire series, not just of Season 3, which is the episode is a part of Season 3. I think you guys are going to know where I'm coming from with this. Obviously, you know what it is by the title of the thumbnail, but it's one of the most popular episodes of the entire series. It is going to be the top 10 moments from the real campers of Shallow Lake. That is right. Season 3, Episode 5, Recastle, is going to be the episode that we tackle today for the top 10 moments. This was a very difficult one because for a 35-minute episode, or around 35 minutes, whatever it was, there was so much they packed into this episode. There just, oh my god, it's going back and rewatching it to get this list. It is insane how much is in this episode. You've got two amazing singing numbers. You've got drama left and right, both artificial and genuine. There's just so much stuff in this episode. It's crazy. I remember reacting to it during the Season 3 reactions, but then going back, I've watched this episode many times, but just going back and watching it for this last time, just specifically pick out certain moments, just realizing how many things that I didn't add to this list that certainly could have made it on here. Like, I will tell you now that Carlos saying that he's broken the children because he didn't invite Emmy and Alex to the meeting where they were going over the plan, that's a great moment that deserves a spot on a list like this. But stuff like that is good, but it didn't make the list because there's just so much other stuff that I feel like is a little bit better. Also, Courtney slapping Carlos and Carlos saying, "Oh, I've been slapped." Like, that's a great moment, but it doesn't make this list. Those are kind of like honorable mentions, I guess. Those don't make the list, but they are great, great moments. This episode was so jam-packed, and I know that you guys are probably going to argue with the order of my list, and honestly, I can argue with the order of my list, because as of like 5 minutes before popping record on the camera, I was still debating between a few of these. I think I have my top two pretty much set in stone, but basically everything after that can go any other spot. Like, I could listen to arguments on almost every single one of these except for probably 1 and 2. I feel like 1 and 2 are pretty much universal, but everything else, I don't know. It's very, very fluid with this list. Like all my lists are. But this is a very good episode, one of my favorite episodes. If you want to see me do more top 10s for specific episodes, leave them down below in the comments. Leave your favorite episode or maybe one of the more popular episodes. I'm sure a lot of Season 4 episodes will get left in the comments. Maybe some Season 1, probably not some Season 2, maybe Season 2. I could probably do the vacation one where they go on spring break. That has a lot of stuff happening in that episode, so I could probably do that. But we'll see. We'll see as we get further. At some point, I may just do every single episode, the top 10 moments from every episode. I don't know. That's a long way away. But here we go. Let's start the list. Number 10. This one is more of a comedy moment than it is more so impactful to the story of the episode. This one is going to be Gina throwing water on Courtney. Now, obviously, they're acting, they're playing it up because they're trying to get I forget the dude's name, the camera guy. Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. You guys know I'm bad with names. But they're trying to get the response and the reactions that they want so that Corbin doesn't cancel the documentary. That being said, Gina and Courtney are having a little argument because Gina is the one with the catchphrase, and Courtney is the judgy one. And so Courtney's judging Gina's lines when they're doing their read, and Gina says, don't get me started. And Courtney says, oh, what if I do? And then Gina goes off to grab a cup of water. She comes back, she dumps the water on Courtney right on the front of her top. And it's honestly, it's a great moment because yeah, it's real water and it's probably honestly a little bit of a real moment between Gina and Courtney. But it is a great moment, but I didn't think it was so great that it was higher on the list, and it also is probably better than those other moments it's not an honorable mention, so it falls at number 10. Number 9 is one of my favorite moments from the episode. It is going to be Carlos trying to get Maddox and Jet together. So, obviously, this is before it comes out. It's revealed that Jet and Maddox are brother and sister, but all throughout the episode, Carlos is trying to get Maddox to cry. So he comes up with this solution that the man that she loves is in love with another woman. And that man happens to be Jet, who's in love with Courtney, which we know is true, which we'll get to that in a second. But he's trying to make her cry, and because she's jealous and she's all like heartbroken and stuff. But then throughout the episode, he continues to do it. He keeps pushing it, and then it's revealed almost at the very end that they are brother and sister, and it's amazing. Because then Carlos, when he's talking to Ricky, he's so upset because he's like, "Oh no, what have I done? I've done a horrible thing." Like, it's one of my favorite moments just because of the pure reaction from Carlos when he finds out, and then throughout the episode, Maddox and Jet knowing that they're brother and sister, but everybody else not knowing. And it's just wonderful throughout the story, or throughout the episode. It's a wonderful little side thing that is pretty funny. So that is number 9. I'm going to try not to forget any of these, but I don't make any promises because I'm very dumb. So we could forget one. Number 8, this one is more so not just for the episode in general, it's for the entire arc of both season 3 and season 4. It is Ricky can't say what he feels. So if you're not familiar with my phrasing on this is the specific moment when Gina is sitting on the porch or the front deck area of the barn. She's sitting on the little like side area by the railing, and then Ricky comes up, he talks to her, they sit facing each other, and it's a wonderful, obvious moment for Rena fans everywhere. And then Gina is talking about how she's upset because she didn't realize her summer of firsts was going to be including a summer of first boyfriend fights, or then she goes on to say first boyfriend confusions because it's not really a fight, but then like she goes on to say this stuff, and then Ricky says that line right there. It's really tough when you can't say what you feel or how you feel. And then the Rena cue plays, and it's amazing. It makes you all warm and fuzzy inside. So that one I feel like deserves to be on this list. It is number 8. Number 7. I talked about this a little bit earlier with the Courtney getting the water on her, or with the Courtney getting water on her. I think one of the ones. Who cares? I talked about it earlier. It is going to be Jet being Team Courtney. Yeah. You didn't think that I would put that on there, did you? It's on here, and it's pretty high on the list. Number 7. So basically, when they're in the initial meeting with Carlos and Val and EJ telling them what's going to be happening, who gets what role, at the very beginning, when they're explaining it initially, Courtney's a little confused. She says some remarks, and Jet says, "Can I be Team Courtney on that one?" And Courtney gives a little look back, and it's great. And then he goes on a little bit later in that part, he goes on to say, "I agree with Courtney," or 100%. Or so, he says something along those lines, and then Courtney looks back again. Like, there's just these moments where Jet, he didn't need to say that. Why would he say that? Unless he's in love with her, and we all know he is, and he doesn't want to admit it yet until season 4, when he doesn't technically admit it, but we all know he did admit it. It's a whole thing. So that is going to be number 7 on my list. Number 6 is going to be another one that involves Jet. Ahmed's going to really like this list. This one is Jet singing Right Place. This was number 2 of the 2 songs that I mentioned that were unbelievable in this episode, which makes it even better of an episode than it already is. Right Place is one of my favorite songs that Jet sings. One of my favorite songs of the entire series. He does such a good job. It's really just like such an emotional, powerful song because he's trying to express his feelings of how he's upset with how he's treated Maddox over the years of their childhood and how he can't seem to do anything right, and he wants to be there for, and it's just this whole beautiful song that he sings. And at the very end, you can see Maddox at the door. She listened to the last part of it, and it's amazing. It's a great little piece of storytelling to further that bridge of fixing their relationship as brother and sister. So it's a wonderful song. It's a great song. So it helps that it's such a great song to be high on this list. Now we're into the top 5, and this is where it's gonna get pretty good. So number 5, another one of my favorite moments. All of these are my favorite moments, but another one of my real favorite moments is Ricky slapping EJ for real. It was great. It took me out when I saw it for the first time. Great, fantastic, LOL. I had a good time. So basically, Ricky and EJ are practicing their fake slaps, trying to get it down because they're trying to build that drama and build that tension. And then Carlos comes up. They're just not getting it. They're not connecting right. And then Carlos is like, look, Ricky, EJ stole your girl, so you got to be jealous. He's the jilted lover. Or the jilted ex, I should say. And so Ricky says, oh, you mean Gina? And EJ's like, huh? And he's like, and then Ricky keeps going. He's like, EJ stole Gina, but he didn't really steal her. And then he goes on this whole thing, and EJ's just like looking like, what? She's what? He's realizing that Ricky does have these feelings for EJ. He might have feelings for EJ, feelings for Gina, and he's probably trying to figure out if he's playing the part or if he's being truthful. And then EJ says, he goes on the little rant about how Ricky and Gina went to in the woods by themselves. They got lost in the woods on purpose. And he goes on this whole thing, and then Ricky, boom, slaps him. Amazing scene, great. And you could the face that Ricky makes after he makes contact is just so good. It's such a cheeky little smile. I love it. It's great. Wonderful moment. So that is number 5 on the list. Number 4. It involves Ricky again, as a lot of my favorite moments tend to. Number 4, and I have to say it in the way that Ricky says it, number 4 is, Jet and Maddox are siblings? Yes, that is number 4 on the list, just because of the pure, craziness of him just screaming it out. He's like, guys, Jet and Maddox are siblings? He's so shocked by this, because previously, everybody had thought that they were just 2 random campers. They didn't know each other. Because earlier in that scene, Ricky says, do these 2 know each other? They're trying to piece this together as Jet and Maddox are having their public yelling match, or I guess Maddox is yelling at Jet. Jet's not really yelling back, but that's a great moment, because then he's like, at the very end of that scene, he's like, I need to sit down. And he's like, no, I need to lie down. Ricky is amazing in this episode, and it only gets better with that scene right there. Number 3, I didn't forget number 3 this time. Number 3 is also from that scene, a little bit later than when Ricky said, no, is it when Ricky? I think it's after Ricky says this, then Gina and EJ talk, and EJ is trying to figure out why Gina's so mad, and Gina's, because he's moving to St. Louis, and he didn't tell her, she's all upset with Val, and it's a whole thing. And then number 3, EJ stands for Elton John. I didn't see it coming either. I probably should have. I probably should have put together that, oh, his camp name is Rocket Man. Who's the Rocket Man? Elton John's the Rocket Man. I probably should have put that together, and it's EJ. But I don't know. I'm dumb. I told you, I'm dumb. But then when Ashlyn says it initially, she's like, Elton John Caswell. And Carlos freaks out. That's what your name? That's what EJ stands for? And everybody's freaking out because they're realizing that's what his name stands for. Gina didn't even know that that's what that stands for. How do you not tell your girlfriend that what your name actually is? Like, I know she obviously just calls him EJ, but at some point in the couple of months that you were dating, you never once told her, hey, oh, by the way, EJ is not my true name. My true name is this, Elton John. Like, I feel like you would tell your girlfriend that. Like, if I had a shortened name, I feel like I would tell my girlfriend that. But I don't have, like, my name is just my name. I don't have another name. So I do. I have Juice. But that it just seems weird. So the fact that Gina didn't know, and then the reaction of everybody makes it even better, and then the fact that Carlos is like, I thought it stood for whatever he says, and then or what does he say? Something Junior? What? Oh, something Junior. Eric Jr. I think is what he says. Eric Jr. And then EJ's like, my dad's name is Cash, and then Carlos is like, that's on brand. Oh, it's a wonderful episode. It's a wonderful moment in the episode. And now we are down to the final two. Oh, baby. I think you know where I'm going with these two. These are the two that I said are pretty much set in stone for, they're not going anywhere. This is two. This is one. They're pretty much universal. Everybody's going to agree. I feel like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not connected with the community as much as I thought I was. But I feel like I've got a pretty good touch on what you guys think is going to be number one and number two. So number two is going to be Ricky getting caught on the hot mic. So at the end of the episode, there was only one thing they had left to do. They already had the cry from Maddox. They had the slap from Carlos getting slapped by Courtney, or I guess Ricky slapping EJ. And then they had the water from Gina throwing the water on Courtney. So they had 3 out of the 4 check marked off on the list that Carlos said had to get done. But the last thing that they hadn't done yet was getting caught on a hot mic. And then we go towards the end of the episode. Ricky's I think it's by a campfire. Ricky sits down. Carlos is there. They have their conversation. And Carlos says, you're pretty good at playing a jilted ex. Or you're pretty good at having these feelings. And Ricky says, is it bad if I'm not really pretending? And then Carlos like, oh, and then they realize, but then, what's the dude's name? I just forgot it. Like, it's on the tip of my tongue. The camera dude's name. What is his name? You guys are probably screaming at me in the comments, or screaming at your phone, or whatever you're watching this on. I know his name. Oh my God. I am blanking on his name. Whatever. You know who I'm talking about. For some reason, Channing! Yes, I knew it started with a C. Channing is his name. God, that was going to bug me if I couldn't get that. Channing, I apologize for not knowing his name right off the bat. I'm bad with names. Channing is in the bushes recording it, so he catches Ricky saying this, and Ricky starts to freak out because he realizes it's going in the doc because it's some juicy information. So he's freaking out, and Ricky gets caught on the hot mic. It's a great thing that leads to, obviously, Ricky trying to get Channing to delete it. He goes to Corbin. Corbin says, as long as you don't praise Nickelodeon, it's going in the doc, and it's a whole thing, and he can't get it taken out. I wish we could see the documentary, but they never released it. And number one, obvious, one of the best things I've ever watched with my own 2 eyes. It is, and to be fair, this is maybe the best song of season 3. That's tough to say because there's some really good songs. Courtney singing Let It Go, unreal. So it's tough to say that this is number one, but you can make an argument, and I'd listen. Number one is going to be, What Do You Know About Love? I mean, it's simple. There's not another moment from this episode that is more impactful, more amazing, more awe-inspiring, more jaw-dropping than this moment. Val and EJ say, "Oh, go half speed. Don't go too hard. You don't have to go crazy. Just take your time. Just run through the song. Be careful. Use your surroundings. Just do it. Just casual. Just go with the flow." And Gina takes that and says, "Oh, I'm mad at EJ. I'm gonna use Ricky. I'm gonna throw him around, and I'm gonna make EJ jealous." So then we proceed to have What Do You Know About Love? Gina's throwing Ricky around. She's all up on him, rubbing her hands on his body. It may sound weird, but go watch the song. She does it. They're intimate. They're up close and personal in each other's space. Gina's looking at his lips at one point in the episode or in the song. He catches her and like bends her over in like the classic pose. Like, I mean, a lot of stuff happens in this song, and all while EJ is just sitting there in his stupid reindeer outfit watching along. Can't do anything because true love is in front of his eyes. That is my list. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree, if you don't agree, let me know your list down below in the comments. I'd be happy to see what you guys think of this episode. And if you think that maybe some of my honorable mentions should have actually made the list, and maybe some of these things that I have on my actual list should have been honorable mentions, let me know. I'm very curious. And also, like I said at the beginning, if you have any suggestions for other episodes you want to see in a top 10 list, leave them down below as well, and we could possibly take those on. I've got a few other ideas for episodes that I want to do in the future, but this one I definitely wanted to get out because, one, it was one of the more requested ones, and it's just one of the better episodes of the entire series, so we had to get it done at some point, so why not now? But that is going to do it for my list. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.